Hello students. In today's class we will be discussing about the various types of plans. We have already discussed the basic concept of planning, the features of planning and the principles of planning. We also went through the process that is to be followed while making any plans while doing the planning. So now moving on to the types of plans, we can bifurcate them on three bases: on the basis of focus of the plans, on the basis of time horizon for which the plans are being made, and on the basis of usage of plans. Now on the basis of time horizon, as you can see, it can be a short-term plan, it can be a long-term plan, and it can also be a medium-term plan. Short-term plans are generally referred to the ones which are for less than 1 year. The plans which will be executed in under 1 year of time period are short-term plans, and anything which is for 5 years or more, then that is called as long-term plan. In between 1 to 5 years are referred to as medium-term plans. But this is not a hard and fast rule that is to be followed. It can vary from industry to industry. There are certain very fast moving industries wherein very turbulent environment is there, whose environment keep on changing every now and then, and for them even 2 years time period might be a long term. Fine. So in that case, for those industries, they might be making plan just for say 1 year or 2 years, and they might be calling it as a long-term plan depending upon the situation of their industry. But in general sense, if generally we have to talk about it, then normally less than 1 year is taken to be a short-term plan, and if it is more than 5 years, it is called as a long-term plan. Now coming on to types of plans on the basis of focus of the plans, that why are the plans being made? What are the objective of this particular plan being made? The plans can be bifurcated. First is strategic plans. They are the long-term plans. They are the strategies that are being made. So they are the long-term plans which are generally made up by the top management. Now, in these plans, the focus is on the external environmental conditions and the competitive scenario. So you will be, when you are making a strategic plan, you will be dealing with allocation of resources, the optimum utilization of resources for the achievement of a particular objective, right? And as I have already said, they will be the long-term plans. Short-term plans are not called strategies. From these strategies, from these strategic plans, you can derive the short-term plans. You can derive how you have to execute in order to achieve these, in order to achieve this particular plan that has been set up, in order to complete the strategy that has been set up. They are known as the operational plans. Right, so they are the plans which will be made up by the middle level management or the lower level management, and comparative to the strategic plans, they will be for the shorter duration because they are the derivative plans from the strategies. So comparatively, they will be of shorter duration, and they will lay down the standards, the procedures that are to be followed in order to achieve the company's overall objectives, in order to achieve the strategies that have been made. So when the operational plans are being made, basically we are trying to answer the question that how we have to achieve the objectives, how we are supposed to do the things in order to complete the objective, in order to reach our goal. Then we have tactical plans. They are the short-term plans, and they are the ones which are being made just to give a reply to a particular challenge that is being faced. So once a challenge has been posed by a particular environment, internal environment or external environment, and you are formulating some plan to counter that challenge, to overcome that challenge, they are known as the tactical plans. Right, it comes from the words tactics. What tactics we will follow to overcome this particular challenge being posed by the environment. So they are called the tactical plans. Last kind of plans based on focus are your contingency plans or the contingency planning. These are the plans which are your plan B. Okay, जैसे हम कहते हैं ना, whenever you are planning, you should always have a प्लान बी इन योर माइंड कि अगर प्लान ए जो आपका मेजर प्लान है, जो आपका मेन प्लान है, वो वर्कआउट नहीं करता है, then what will you do? You must have a backup. So this is your backup plan. It's an alternative course of action that if your primary plans do not work out, if your primary plans do not result in the achievement of objective, what is the backup that you are having? What is the secondary plan that you are having? What is the contingency plan you are having so that you can reach your organizational objectives? So on the basis of focus, we have divided the plans into 4: strategic plans, operational plans, tactical plans, and contingency planning. In short, if we try to understand, strategic plans are the broad objectives, the broad long-term strategies, broad long-term objectives that are to be achieved, majorly made by the top level management. Operational plans are the procedures, are the policies, the standards, the way of doing things in order to achieve the overall objective of the organization, and are generally looked after by the middle and lower level management. Tactical plans are the plans that are being made in order to counter the challenges that are being posed by the environment. And contingency plans are your backup plans or plan B in case your primary plan fails. Now, on the basis of usage, this is the another bifurcation. We have already discussed on the basis of focus. We have discussed on the basis of time duration. Now we are moving to the plans on the bifurcation of plans, or the types of plans on the basis of usage of plans. So when we say usage of plans, we can divide it into two major parts: standing plans and single use plans. So standing plans are multi-use plans which can be used again and again. As the name suggests, they will be standing at that place only. You can reuse them again and again for different time periods, right? So they are the plans which have been made once and they will be reutilized in the organization. Whereas single use plan, as the name suggests, they will be used only once. So they are being made for a particular event, they are being made for a particular objective, they are being made for a particular time. Once that time period, once that event, once that activity is over, these plans will not be used again. They will be single use plans. So under the standing plans or the multi-use plans, we have objectives, policies, strategies, procedures, and rules. All these are our standing plans. Then under single use plans, we have programs, budgets, schedules, and projects. So in brief, we will just go through each one of them, that what do we mean by it. First is your objective. Objective, we all know it is the final goal that you have to achieve, right? So the objectives, they basically provide you a target where you have to reach. It is the final point that you want to reach with the various policies, procedures, following the rules. You want to reach this particular objective. Now, once the objective has been framed, once the objective has been made, it remains as the objective of the organization for a long-term period. So it's a standing plan. Objective, you will not be changing every now and then. It will remain there as the objective of the organization. So it's a standing plan. It is a multi-use plan. Every time you are taking a step, every time you are taking a decision in the organization, you have to see, you have to ensure that you are moving nearer to your objective. Then if we talk about strategies, they are somehow linked to the objectives, because when you talk about strategies, again you are talking about the deployment of resources in accordance to the external environment, right? When you scan the external environment, when you try to find out the opportunities and threats from the external environment, and you strategize, you formulate a plan that how we have to tackle the threats being posed by the outside environment, or how we have to utilize the opportunity which we have from the external environment, then these are known as your strategies. So again, they are the long-term things and they provide you direction for the deployment of resources. So they are under the single-use plans or the multi-use plans or the standing plans. Then we have policies, right? Policies are like the outside boundaries, right? They set up a particular boundary, a broad framework within which you have to keep on making your decision. So a policy has been made, and within that policy, the further decisions will be made, right? A procedure is a step-by-step thing. or whatever objectives are there, whatever strategies are there, how you will reach there is a procedure, that what all steps will be taken to ensure that you are able to fulfill that objective is the procedure. And last, under the standing plans, is the rules. So the rules and regulations that are being made so that everybody follows them, everybody adheres to those rules. And again, when the rules are being made, they are made in such a manner that they are helping in achievement of the final objectives of the organization. If I take a very simple example, that if the university say has an objective that they want to increase the attendance of students in the regular classes, right? This is the objective that they have. So they'll have to formulate a policy, they'll have to set up the procedures and rules, right? Right now also we are having attendance policies. Okay, so policy kya hai? The policy in this context which the university, Delhi University is having is that your marks are linked to the attendance. 5 marks of your internal assessment have been linked to the attendance. That is a policy because it's a broad framework. Then what is the procedure? Procedure is that the teachers are supposed to take attendance in their classes, right? They are supposed to mark your attendance on daily basis in all the classes, and then this attendance is submitted in the office at the end of the semester. Even in the mid semester, the office asks for the attendance to see that who all students are there who are not attending the classes regularly, who are short of attendance. And if we talk about rules, then related to this also some rules are there. For example, less than 67% attendance, if a student is having, he or she should not be allowed to sit in the final exams, right? Then 67 to 70% you will get 1 mark, 70 to 75% 2 marks, and so on. What are these? These are the rules, right? So once an objective has been framed, you will have policies, you will have procedures, you will have rules related to that in order to achieve that particular objective. Now coming on to single use plans. As I said, they are the ones which will be used once for a particular scenario, for a particular event, and then they will be of no use. Then a new plan will have to be made. So when we talk about programs basically is a combination of policies and procedures, right? So but for a particular event, right? So when we are say trying to organize a particular event, we are trying to organize a webinar for commerce department, we are organizing that program. So for that particular program, we'll have some policies, how we have to do the registration, how many participants we are allowing, are we having any payment or not, or is it free of cost, what are the rules, what are the procedures that will be followed for this particular program. So it is a mix of these policies and the procedures for that particular event. Once that event is over, then this program that I have made is of no more use. If a new event is to be organized, again I'll have to look into the procedure and policy for that particular program. That is why it is called a single use plan. Similarly, you have budgets. Budgets you all are aware of, wherein we try to lay down the use of financial resources of our organization, of our company. So once a budget has been made, it is generally made for 1 year. It can also be made half yearly. You can also have a monthly budget. So once, say if you have made a yearly budget, that budget is say for 2021-22, and this financial year 21-22 you have made a budget. Once this year is over, 2021-22 is over, you will have to relook into that budget. You will have to make the budget again for the next financial year 2022-23. So it's a single use plan. Once that time period is over, you will have to discard that budget and you have to look into the new one, because that particular budget was for a particular time period. Then you have schedules. Schedules is nothing but a time sequence, a timeline of doing activities. So a schedule is made for a particular activity, for a particular event, for a particular time frame. Once that time frame is over, then you have to relook into your schedules as well. Right? Say for example, your timetable that you get, that is a schedule. So every semester you get a new timetable. Why is it so? Because once the timetable was given to you when you entered the college, that was for your first semester. Once that first semester is over, for your next semester, a new schedule is to be prepared. So it's a single use plan. Then we have projects. Projects, when are undertaken, why they are being classified under single use plans? Because when one particular project is taken up, उसमें आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव भी होगा, आपकी पॉलिसीज भी होंगी, प्रोसीजर्स भी होंगे, रूल्स भी होंगे, but they will be unique to that particular project. Once that project gets over, these objectives, policies, procedures and rules will no longer be used, क्योंकि आपके पास एक नया प्रोजेक्ट आएगा, फिर आप उस प्रोजेक्ट के हिसाब से नए ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, पॉलिसीज, प्रोसीजर्स एंड रूल्स फ्रेम करोगे. Now the major difference between programs and projects is that program is a short term event. Okay, it can be a 1 day event, it can be a 1 week program, it can be a 1 month program, but projects are generally for a longer duration. They require more resources as compared to the short duration programs. So I hope this is clear to you, because that is all about the various types of plans based on the various kinds of bifurcations. So we have taken up 3 bifurcations that were there based on focus, based on time horizon and based on the usage.